Oh, wrong one. But hey, let's we're already starting off on bad thing. Hey folks.
At least the mic's not muted.
Yeah, not this time.
Mic's not muted, right? Yeah, mic's not muted.
Yours muted?
No, it's good.
I blame having to come straight here from work and then prep really fast.
Yeah.
Hey folks, how's it going?
It's setting up on stream.
I don't have a choice. I know. Quit my job. Quit my job. How are the people? As usual, we'll let some folks
Gather in.
and come all before we hit our usual topics and before we get started on some art twerking.
Art twerking.
Yeah, throw a lowercase o, big Y, lowercase o in the chat. so we know you're here.
Actually, we know it's been here all day.
Yeah.
All week.
Someone had posted in the chat right after I put it up, somebody I didn't recognize, and then Corey was in there. They disappear after a few days.
Yeah, I wish they would just hang out.
Yeah. Yeah, but there are a bunch of folks that said they were looking forward to the stream tonight, so hopefully they pile in.
Dude, all last week, they did a stream. They did a week-long stream in honor of Bob Ross's birthday.
Nice.
And it was awesome. I mean, it was just, it was all the shows you'd always seen, but gosh, what a relaxing guy.
I'm gonna post out that we're up and live.
Oh yeah, we
before
didn't even
going.
do like a 30-minute countdown or anything.
Yeah, I did one this morning
We
at
were a
4:30
little
when I
off
was
our
up.
game, but a little more awake than we were for the last one.
Definitely.
Oh. Hey John, how's it going?
Hey, buddy.
That's the first I heard from. I guess he woke up from his Boba Fett trailer coma.
I mean, it makes sense. A few weeks it would take. Yeah, it was a pretty good trailer.
Like I said, I am 100% a Boba bandwagoner. After he showed up in The Mandalorian and he was in there, he's like, Jabba ruled by fear. I'll rule by respect. I'm like, you got it, bro.
I respect
We're
you.
here for you, Mr. Fett.
I respect you, Mr. Fett.
YOLO.
Hey, Page One Comics is live too. Don't go watch them. Watch us. Actually, it'd be a fun stream. I'm sure theirs are always fun.
They're always good guys. They definitely shoot the breeze. They're a little more less on topic than we are, but they usually have news and people drawing at the same time.
Yeah.
They spent like the first stream I ever tuned into. They spent like a solid 30 minutes talking about Ghostbusters, like 2 or 3 lines.
So I went to Twitter real quick to post up that we're live, and the latest tweet that I have is from Ryan Stegman. It says, "My sister just asked me if I ever draw Venom."
I like that his family seems to know so little about what he does.
Nothing about what he does.
Because he's like, I remember in one of his streams he said that he was like, guys, I'm drawing Spider-Man, the main Spider-Man series. They're like, oh, that's nice. And then they like mentioned him on the local news and they're like, oh my God, Ryan, you're on the news. Like, kind of like mom talking to Meredith Finch.
Meredith, yeah.
Or Chris Claremont.
Like she's been best friends with him forever.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you knitting over there?
Well, he had almost as formative a role in our lives as our parents.
That's true.
We were raised on his comics. We're going to remind you guys throughout the day to go watch the Evening with Cyclops video. Even if you've already seen it, put it on the background because it's almost Scoot's most watched video.
Almost. Most liked video.
I'd like to think it was my stellar presentation of the history of a comic character, but we all know the real hero, Scott Summers.
Who has always been cool.
We just started doing every week as an Evening of Cyclops. So it's like, all right, we're covering these issues.
Do an afternoon with Cyclops, a morning with Cyclops.
The Cyclops Rewind.
Cyclops
like the Simple
Rewind.
Boys.
Yeah.
But if you guys didn't hear, Scoot had a post hit 10,000 likes, which is absurd because he doesn't even have that many followers.
Yeah.
Space Venom of all size. We like to recount the story where I just harangued Scoot in public, just embarrassed him in front of his peers, telling him not to draw Venom anymore. And I'm still wrong. Like, I've never been so wrong that it continuously is proven I'm wrong. And it's every time he posts a Venom, something new comes out of it. Something some crazy likes, or
I have-
Stegman commented on his latest one.
I have to keep it interesting. Like, I do like it that at least that all these Venom commissions I get, they're not all the same Venom, you know.
Oh sure.
John, yes, I am
Yeah.
beyond excited for the new X-Men.
If
2023
they change,
can't come soon enough.
if they change the opening theme,
There's no
Will
way. There's no
Riot-
way, right? Like,
yeah,
there's
I mean,
no way they'll change
that
it.
sick guitar riff is part of it.
There's absolutely no way they'll change it. And I wonder if a lot of the original voice actors are like still available.
Not to get too spicy political, but they missed their chance for a revamp of My Fellow Americans, I Am an Idiot for sure. With Morph. Morph is an X-Men. I know he died in the first episode of the cartoon. That's all I know
And
about.
he came back
can-
later.
He can shapeshift. Did he come back as a
Morph
horseman?
Steak.
Or did he just come back?
I know he just came back, but I don't really remember.
I just remember Rogue being ultra thick in that show.
Oh yeah, with that southern accent.
You know what's funny is I hate in comics when they overspell her southern accent. Like, I feel like if a character's like Spidey, you know, is supposed to sound like a New Yorker, but they don't do anything. They don't try to spell it out phonetically. So it sounds like in like a lot of times with Rogue, instead of putting an I, like I am going to the store, they'll put AH for like I'm going to the store, like
Yeah.
a deep southern accent. And it always throws me off, which is always, I always say anything that pulls you out of the illusion, out of the immersion you're in, is negative. And for me, that makes it negative because I read it, I'm like, oh God, okay. And it's like, I know she's supposed to say I like a Southern person. And it's sort of like one of the things I liked about Star Wars is you get the opening, and then after the crawl, you don't get any credits or anything till the end. So you're immediately immersed in the story. And so,
Morph.
what?
Morph. I want that original Wolverine voice actor to come back for sure.
Oh man.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we'll go with the top of the show here. The most exciting thing that's happened is, if you have lived under a fucking rock the past week, the Fathom cover came in.
Yeah.
All 210 copies. I think it's 210. Still a print run of 200 because who knows if I'm gonna mess any up while I'm doing remarks and stuff like that. But it looks fantastic. It looks absolutely amazing. And let me take you out of here and show you one of the most exciting parts of it. Is right there, guys.
Yeah.
There it is.
I think I'm gonna
Bring it in
shadow box
closer.
it and put mine put one forward, one backwards.
Player's kind of there, but you can see it says Brute Studios Comics. And then it's got me, Corey, and John's names down here. So that's super cool. They put our logo and everything on there. And then just obviously the inside is Alex Konat's art, and he's a freaking monster artist. So and the story's really good too. I know kind of people's opinion that Fathom had kind of fallen off. It's kind of hit or miss every once in a while, especially since, you know, Michael Turner wasn't writing it and drawing it anymore. But I've always enjoyed it, but this new story is really, really, really fun, and I'm excited to see where they take it. So I highly suggest it. I highly suggest you buy it from me, and then if you go get the other covers, because there's a lot of really cool covers as well from other artists. So, but it's a fun story, and it should lead to another fun story coming down the line from them. So
I don't know, man. I feel like I haven't read any of the new like any of the new Fathom stuff, but
mhm.
I feel like Michael Turner was such an integral part of it that, like,
Yeah.
not saying it's worse, but I feel like fans of it are immediately standoffish.
Oh yeah, I mean the reason anybody got into it was because it was Michael Turner's.
Yeah. And then, but that, I don't know. I mean, then again, they may be hit or miss, but that's what's good about comics is they come out once a month
Yep.
or once every few months, or in our case, once every few years.
But
And if
every
you,
few years, there's no once yet.
I mean, if you don't like a writer, you wait them out and you
Yeah.
get the next one they come in. I wasn't. We've mentioned a fan many times before. I wasn't a fan of Nick Spencer's run of Amazing Spider-Man. You know what? I waited it out, and Ben Riley's back, loving it. So
Good old Ben.
you can always. That's the good thing about comics. Is even if, say, somebody wrote the worst comic ever and it was a run of Fathom, well, their run's not going to go on forever. So wait for the next one. Jumping on a new one.
Hey, I don't know how I'm gonna pronounce your name wrong.
AJ Henson.
Oh, AJ, never mind. Brad's
I
got
deciphered
it.
it
Brad's
for
here.
you.
Brad's here.
That's when he's like, no, it's Ensign.
I Hansen. Hey, welcome. Ayashi, you said, who's ready to watch Uncle Ben get capped again? Are we thinking that's going to happen in No Way Home? You think they're going to bring? I don't know if they're going to go Uncle
They were
Ben.
doing a new show. I thought they're doing a animated show.
Oh, have they?
They announced it.
I haven't watched or haven't seen anything
Is
from
D20
the.
going on or something?
No, it was like Disney Plus Day or something like that. I don't know what it was, but I haven't looked at any announcements except I saw like Moon Knight was announced and it had a teaser trailer, which was cool. Andrew, all right, we got you, bro. Gotcha. Welcome, Andrew. There, I saw the Moon Knight teaser trailer, which was pretty cool. And then I saw the X-Men thing. Like that's really all I've looked at. I haven't looked at any of the news or anything. So I guess Agatha's getting her own show or something like that. So, which is cool. The Disney Plus stuff hasn't. Well, I haven't finished watching Loki, and I haven't watched any of What If yet, which I heard is really cool because it's animated and stuff. But
yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Loki. A lot of just treadmill storytelling where the characters are moving at breakneck speed but don't get anywhere. That being said, do you know any spoilers from it?
I don't.
Oh, well, we won't talk about it then, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, freshman year. Okay, yeah, I did hear something about that, but I didn't really read into it. But anything Spidey, I'm freaking down.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan Michael, what's up, man? Thanks for dropping by.
I love
We're gonna be drawing here in just a little bit, but
I loved the which one was it that came on MTV for a while there?
see, a lot of people didn't like that one.
I loved it.
Maybe it's because we grew up with it and it's got some nostalgia, but I loved it. I thought it was
Yeah.
cool. That's where I first saw like blue Electro, Jamie Foxx looking Electro and stuff. So
Whatever Spidey you love is the best Spidey.
absolutely,
So,
like Mark Bagley will always be Spider-Man's artist to me.
I as much as I like Spider-Man 2, I still think the Raimi trilogy was not great, but I know a ton of people who love it, and that's
Yeah.
okay because you love Spider-Man.
We obviously I've loved Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is always good. But we rewatched Spider-Man 1 the other day, and I don't know what it was, but I watched it and I enjoyed it again.
Yeah.
The first, because it's very ripped out of the Stan Lee Ditko comics, so but it was fun to watch again. But the third one I still have only seen once because I was so disappointed.
I think the biggest problem with the first movie is just I didn't like Green Goblin. I want him to have the tunic on. I want him to have the crazy, almost like looking like he's actually like a goblin instead of like a suit. And I get what they were doing. They didn't really have the MCU to where they could just go for crazy designs like that. So they were just kind of doing the best they could at the time.
So real quick, we've kind of already gone into some Spider-Man talk. We'll get into much more Spider-Man talk because I'm going to be drawing Spider-Man today. But I have one fun thing to do real quick. So I was me and Brad are going to play the Newlywed game real quick. And if you don't know what that is, so
God, that's so
preference. The Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon is one of the best. Absolutely
was
agree.
that the MTV one?
No, that's a newer one. I'd say newer one. It's definitely after the MTV one. But yeah, it's really good. I highly suggest going to watch it. I watched it when we lived in the apartment.
I love the original animated Spider-Man. That was awesome.
Of course.
Not like the one where he points at himself, but the one that was like he never threw a punch because they didn't want it to be too violent.
Yeah.
So instead he just like webbed people.
So real quick, the Newlywed game. We're about to do this. So I got messaged on Instagram by a website called comicbookfiendclub.com. And they wanted to feature me as their artist of the month, which I don't know what month it'll be. But they sent me an interview, and it's a bunch of stuff about me, and it was some pretty fun questions to answer. But Brad and I have literally, been together our whole lives, but that's true. But I feel like wavelength and mind-wise, we know a lot about each other's likes and stuff, almost as if we were a newlywed couple, but we're brothers, so that can't happen.
Because in the Newlywed game, they used to do where they would ask, like, they'd take all the wives away and ask all the husbands a question, and they'd write down an answer, and then the wife would come out and have to answer the same question and match it for points.
So
it was to show how well they knew each other.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, and I thought it'd be kind of fun, real here at the top. I'm going to read these questions to Brad, and he's going to see if he can guess what my answers were, because I've already answered all this interview stuff and sent it back. And And this will be a spoiler for the interview, but who cares? You still go read it and hear what my words and everything are. But I thought this would be kind of fun. So if you guys want to follow along and try to figure out some of these answers too, you're more than welcome to drop them in the chat. So
real quick before you go.
Yeah.
John said if they had gone with the original concept for Green Goblin, Goblin Raimi.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
I saw that mask test and it blew my mind. So yes,
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
was incredible. But anyway, as you were.
Absolutely. All right, so
What?
then what's his name? Michael Scott. Absolutely.
I don't know.
So anyway, first question. Where are you from?
Oh, Memphis, Tennessee, born and raised. I'm assuming you did not tell him Oakland, Tennessee.
Nope.
Okay.
My response was, I'm born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee, and still reside in the greater Memphis area.
Yeah. 'Cause no one
Mr.
was-
Winters, hey, what's up? How's it going? Welcome. We're just reading some questions off real quick before we get to drawing. So, all right, second question they asked me, how long have you been drawing?
Your whole life, probably with started back up in 2012 with a lot more focus in about 2017.
Okay, you went a lot deeper than I did. I said I've been drawing since I was very young, maybe 4 or 5. So what materials do you prefer to do art with?
Pencil and paper, cheap Bic mechanical pencil, 0.5 lead until you want to kill Corey, and then you go 0.3.
Yep. So
I guess Bristol smooth, not.
you know, I didn't even put the Bristol on there. What's
Bristol
wrong with me?
smooth, not vellum.
So I put my focus is on comic pencils. So give me a pencil and I'm happy. As far as what pencil, I use a cheap mechanical pencils in 0.5 size that you can get in bulk from any retailer. Nothing fancy. On occasion, I do ink work. I prefer Pigma Microns and a Pentel pocket brush.
Have we mentioned that we tried to get Bic to sponsor Scoot at some point?
No shit. Brad really did try to get Bic to sponsor me.
On their response, they have not emailed me back.
That was 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Question 4.
Justin.
Character. What character do you love to draw?
Oof. Definitely Spidey's got to be on there. You draw him on every damn box you do. I think other than that, you like
Justin.
drawing the characters that require detail. So, of course, the Spidey characters, anything from the Spider-Man universe, but the symbiote characters are great. But I know you like doing people like Moon Knight and even like Batman to where they're darker. Almost like basically anything Finch would draw and knock out of the park, you like to do as well.
So I'm just gonna say right now, Brad's answering these questions better than I did. So I said,
next time, send them to me.
I said there are so many, but Spidey or anything from the Spider-Man Viewverse is my go-to. Venom has been a big one for me recently.
Should have been like, man, I don't know if you've heard of these characters from B-Movie Saga. This new
I only like to draw
they're
creator-owned.
real good character designs.
All right, number 5. Question number 5. Character that you want to draw that you haven't drawn yet.
Ooh.
And this one actually took me a while. And I don't know if I've ever shared wanting to do this, but it'll be interesting to hear what you would think, because I don't think you'll get this one.
Who you would want to draw?
And this will actually be kind of a shocker to you, I think.
Why is Brown and White growling at me? I'm trying to think. I don't know if I'm going to be ever able to guess who you would want to draw, because I'm trying to think of somebody you haven't. But it would be badass if you drew Galactus. Like, just
That's really
like,
close,
a
and
Galactus with Surfer. With
I
the
almost said
Surfer
Galactus.
coming out. Like, that would be cool to me.
So I literally thought about Galactus. So I put, I've gotten the chance to work on a lot of awesome characters for commissions, but one that I've always wanted to do for myself is a Sentinel battling various X-Men characters.
Oh yeah, that's why you bought the huge like
Yep.
38 by whatever the hell.
Yep.
That
No,
massive-
Bear, get out of here with Starscream. Get out of here.
all
Get
those
outta here.
angles.
Yeah. All right. Question number 6. What artist inspires you the most and why?
Oh, definitely Michael Turner. That one's easy. I think after that, you'd probably say David Finch, more modern, Ryan Stegman. If you're talking about just influence and wanting to be a comic artist, probably Mark Bagley.
So
even though Mark Bagley is really only seen in your Venom and Carnage.
So give this man a fucking prize, because I said first and foremost Michael Turner. He'll always be the pinnacle for me, but I find myself heavily influenced by David Finch, Ryan Stegman, and Mark Bagley.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Mic drop. Question number 7. What was your first published work?
Oh, the 901 comic anthology, the B-Movie Saga, what we call B-Movie Saga 1, not to be confused with B-Movie Saga Issue 1 that we're working on now.
Yeah, we're gonna have to clear up some confusion on that. But yeah, I said
like
funny
Rambo.
funny enough, I've only had one story published. My brother and I did a 5-page story called B-Movie Saga for an anthology put out by our local comic shop. However, we are continuing with that story and have creative team on board. We hope to release it in the very near future. And last question, which artists would you love to do a collaboration piece with?
See, man, I don't know. See, like me, I'm thinking like
Definitely Hayashi, you're my biggest influence.
clearly, like I don't think like you don't want to do a jam piece with artists, but like I'm sure you wouldn't mind doing like a JP Mayer, like him
Oh, that'd
helping
be
you out, or
cool.
like
Yeah.
you know any of those teams that you know. But like that one's hard because it's weird. Like I think they'd be like, if I asked that to a comic creator, it'd be what writer would you want to work with, or what
Yeah.
creative team? So that one
So
I'm not too sure.
I thought about that as well, but then the way I kind of feel like their question may have been asked is somebody that kind of does something similar to me. So I went with what kind of penciler or something I would go with. So I said there's so many. Currently, I would have to say Ryan Stegman. I think our styles match up pretty well, and he seems like a pretty awesome guy.
Just in case he calls you for a job interview, you'd be like,
Yeah,
shout you
like
out in this
like
online
I said I
magazine.
would have done David Finch, but I think I still would have had that kind of intimidation factor.
Yeah.
Just because, man,
And honestly, I think you could integrate, like, if you guys had to draw like manga style, where you had to like fill in detail or even copy stuff or help draw spoilers, you could do Stegman closer.
I think so
Because
too.
Finch has got a very
As much detail as I like to
I-
put in, Finch, his details at another level.
I feel like the only person that might be able to slip in with Finch might be Jim Lee, because both of them have a similar level of skill to where I think they could adapt to each other. It just they
but David Finch is like the way he draws is so different from
Yeah.
everybody. So everybody, you
sure.
know, obviously I have heavy influence. You can tell with my hashing and stuff. But all right, with that, we got anything else we want to throw out before I start drawing?
oh man.
Okay.
Hey, so figuring this one out along the way.
Yep. So you guys are gonna see me. So I literally just got off work. I got off work at 5. It's now 7. It takes me, 40 minutes to get home based on traffic. So I haven't had much time. But this piece right here. So technically, Venom is done. Technically, Carnage is done. Now Spider-Man in the middle, I've erased probably like 4 or 5 times in the last year. Because I want him dynamic, but I kind of drew myself into a corner here. And this is one of those lessons that you need to learn about having your layout done. And in my defense, I had a layout done that I liked, but as I started adapting and started actually drawing, it became clear that I didn't like the Spider-Man that I had laid out. So you guys are going to see me continuing to lay this thing out as we go along, and we'll just see. Again, we'll usually end this about 9, and we'll see how far I get. But you're going to see a layout process, so you can kind of see the blue lines just a little bit. But you're going to see me work through this, as I would. Usually, I prep the blue lines completely, so I'm ready for the stream. But at this point, it is what it is. I have a full-time job, and I didn't have time. So,
and I think Dude sees this as a lesson of learn layouts and making sure you have it where you want. I also think it's a layout of just push through and finish, because
yeah,
I mean, think if Marvel came knocking and was like, hey, do this cover for Extreme Carnage, and then he draws this and he's like, oh, I just can't figure it out, I'm not gonna finish it. Like, they'd be like, nah, dog, you gotta finish. And I think you can see that even the best artists, there are times where you can see where they had to just phone it in. They had to finish it, and not phone it in, because that makes it seem like they still weren't working hard, but they were probably under a crazy deadline and they had to finish it up. So I think this is one of those where Scoot's going to learn maybe not to be as critical of himself and get through it. And there's a sense of satisfaction. It's kind of like with running, where I want to sprint across the finish line every time, but sometimes I crawl, and that crawl feels as good sometimes. So
even Spider-Man had to learn to crawl.
yeah. And Prophet said he works 12 hours a day, 6 to 6.
Oof. There you go, man.
No thanks.
Yeah, my days are, I work 5 days a week, and then I work 10-hour days. I say 10 plus hours usually, because I'm salary, so they can just do with me as they please.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully not too much longer though.
I like that there's getting, I don't think anything's going to come of it, but I like that there's a trend going where people are trying to push for the 4-day work week.
Yeah.
And I unjokingly think that's a good idea. If they could somehow keep the pay same, and like you work for 4 days and get paid the same as you do working 5 days, you would have more 3-day weekends. You'd have more, you'd have a day to do errands, a day to do leisure, and a day to rest. There's all kinds of stuff that you could do instead of just like, even for me, who I have every weekend off and I can plan for it, like sometimes I cram so much in, it's just like it never stopped and you get no rest. And so you're still not ready for the next work week. So maybe it'd be good. Then again, it could also be a huge catastrophe. I don't know. And I don't want to write legislation. That is not, I want to write fictional stories where people do cool shit and they're fun characters you can aspire to be like.
Sounds like a good job.
Yeah, I do not want to be in charge of anyone else's life. I don't even like giving advice. Just in case it blows back on me. But this piece, Scoot,
yeah, I was getting ready to say, let's explain what
let's
this
explain
piece
this
is.
piece a little bit. It's in the description, but who reads video descriptions except psychopaths? So back during COVID, of course, Diamond was just like, guess what, everybody, we're not shipping comics. And they stopped shipping completely. And then, of course, a bunch of shops have to close down. I mean, gosh, there was at least 2 months there where most shops couldn't open. Unless you were essential, you had to close down, of course, because of kerfuffle last year. And as you know, like with restaurants and other businesses that are privately owned, small businesses, most of them operate on a razor's edge. And so a lot of small businesses were struggling. And one great thing about the comic industry is we love our local comic shops. I feel like that if like Books a Million or Barnes and Noble and Books a Million both carry comics, or at least used to, and no one bought them there. We don't support big box. So if something was like, hey, Amazon's going to make a comic store and it's going to be in every city in this country, we'd be like, go to hell. We're going to the Cellar. We're going to Tate's. We're going to, even Midtown Comics. Midtown Comics might be the biggest local comic book shop on the planet. And it's still cool and local. I've been in a couple of them. They're pretty fun. And so what they did is a lot of people came together, and I know Donnie Cates did a few auctions of signed comics and some original art he had.
He went in and bought. He paid for people's complete pull boxes.
Yeah, paid for like every pull box and everything like that. And I know he did a couple of like Skype sessions with people to like talk to them and review stories and stuff to help them. But a lot of artists were coming out and doing pieces and selling them. And when they sold them, they donated the money to their local comic shop to help keep them afloat. And we thought, hey, that would be a cool idea. We've got a local artist who's pretty badass. Let's do a piece. And so Scoot and I kind of we talked about the idea, and Scoot wanted to, of course, do one for the Cellar. So Memphis is pretty lucky. We've got 3 really great comic shops.
And 2 of them have been there a long time.
Yeah, so the newest one is 901 Comics in Midtown. Actually, 901 Comics is 0.3 miles from my house, which is pretty cool. Very dangerous to the wallet, but pretty cool. Shannon, local guy, super good guy. They just opened a second one on the east side of Memphis. So they've got 901 Midtown, 901 East. Great people, great stuff. The new store's so big, so when they fill it up, it's going to be probably the best comic shop in our city. Honestly, it's going to be big and just beautiful and full of comics. Their key like issue wall, it's unparalleled. Then we have Comics and Collectibles, which is in like the kind of East Memphis, kind of Midtownish area, I guess. I don't know what you'd call it. It's right over by a big theater of ours, but it's been there forever. Biggest selection of back issues in the city. Pretty cool place. They do sales a lot, so I like it. And Donnie, I believe he's one of the owners.
Yeah.
He puts on Memphis Comic Expo every year. Of course, not for the past 2 years,
which is awesome
because of kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle.
And super nice guy, heck of a nice guy. And able to attract a lot of big talent here for this show. It's
Oh, we got to meet David Finch.
Yeah, met David Finch, met Chris Claremont, Peter David, bunch of folks. Cool stuff. But the Scoot, get Russell. To your right, to your right. But
Yeah, Russell.
but then the third, and funny enough, he doesn't advertise it, but the oldest comic shop, the oldest still running comic shop in Memphis, is the Cellar. And it started so long ago. So it was in Memphis, like North Memphis, where we lived. Lived and grew up. Of course, we've been comic nerds for as long as we knew. Watched the TV shows, bought the comics. Probably a good hobby for us because we were so poor growing up.
Yeah.
That like buying, we could buy, you know, a $1.50 comic, and we could buy a couple of them, and then me and my two brothers, or I guess me, Scoot, and Brian in the chat, and then our sister Annie, we all bought comics. And then we could pass them around and share them. So it was a really cool like hobby to have because you got a lot of mileage out of your few dollars you had. But it used to be called Triple Play Cards, Comics, and Collectibles, and it moved around all over North Memphis and eventually became the Comic Cellar. And they really expanded deep into board games too, and all kinds of tabletop gaming. And now, when they moved recently, they moved to Bartlett, and they became the Cellar. And the reasoning, of course, is because you don't want to be exclusive. You don't want to be the Comic Cellar, and board game people think you don't have anything, so they're the Cellar, comics, games, and collectibles, or something like that. So that has been our go-to for the longest time. I mean, I didn't know about comics and collectibles until I was in college.
Yeah.
Didn't know about, or 901 Comics started, gosh, I want to say in 2014 or 15. Scoot, question in the chat: where'd you get the blue pencil?
I got it from Amazon. It is a Pilot Color Eno. It might be kind of hard to see.
That's the one Matt Herm suggested. So
the Pilot Color Eno, and it's a 0.7 lead, but it's really good for laying out. And I like it too because even though sometimes I have a pretty heavy hand, it still lets me erase, and it erases down really well.
Yeah, small digression. We used to go to a convention, an anime convention, when we were in our weeb phase, and there was a guy there in the artist alley who was a colorist, I believe, mostly for Archie Comics, and he worked on the Sonic the Hedgehog and Mega Man comics. Great stuff, but he was doing like $25 or something for a single color like Copic sketch, and I got Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers Captain Marvel way before, let me throw on my hipster hat, way before they ever thought there was going to be a movie. And then of course Cyclops and Namor, and super cool. And when he would lay him out with that blue pencil, and Scoot asked him where he got it, and we went home and bought one. So
yep.
Get tips from your favorite artists, and they'll take you places. But anyway, the Cellar has been our place to go forever. Jason has run that show. He used to be basically the manager of the place, and there was like a silent partner, and eventually the silent partner went off and started doing other things, and he made him an offer and bought the place from him. Good move. He's kept that thing in business through the speculation boom, and then the speculation crash. He's kept it through basically all the ups and downs of a comic shop, and expanded into board games. And when he reached, he hired people when he didn't know enough about board games to get him in there. Super good guy. I've had my pull box there forever. Even though it's a bit of a hike out of my way, I can't change. It's just like the local comic shop is part of who you are, and the Cellar is part of who I am. And it's only now, in hindsight, I think Scoot and I were talking about this yesterday during our meeting, I remember going up and I'd be like, hey, I've got all these comics, and I'd have $5 or something, and he'd be like, yeah, you've got plenty. That's all comes out to $5. And now in my brain, I'm like,
he's lying.
That's probably $30 worth of comics, and he was just helping a kid out. But
that's also, they used to have a copy of Amazing Fantasy 15 there. Was not a high grade. But man, we used to be in awe of that thing every time we'd go.
Yes, John, they were in front of service merchandise.
Yeah, they were.
Good lord.
Hey, Corey, what's up, brother?
But they've always everybody they've always had in there has just been great. They help us out all the time. They put up the Dragon Templar. I gave them some copies of that, and they actually sold out of it. He made me a little sign to support local comic creators. He's gonna have the Fathom cover up. He's a huge supporter of us. So,
and he's been a supporter of ours for when we were little kids.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I've drawn since I was little.
He used to he had a piece of your Venom art up or something.
No, he had a. So I drew when I was, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11. I drew a recreation of Amazing Fantasy 15's cover and colored it in colored pencil and everything. And he used to have it up on their wall there. I wonder whatever happened to that.
Yeah, and then but we used to, funny enough, is this streaming started at the Cellar because
Absolutely.
Scoot and I starting in 2019, or no, maybe it was 2019. It was August of 2019 where we're meeting every week, and we're gonna talk about, like, we'd spend at least an hour talking about behind the scenes stuff that we're not ready to show you guys yet, and then we'd spend an hour streaming, and that was just thing clipped to the table with it up, and we would do it in the Cellar, and it's usually like we'd be in there during like board game night just having a good time. And so we started streaming there just because it was our local comic shop and it's a cool place for us to meet. And I'd pick up my pull for the week, and we would have a little good backdrop, and they were nice enough to just support us doing that. But we of course, like everywhere, they were struggling they never came out and said it, but I'm sure they were, like everybody else. But Scoot and I started doing this and talked about, we were going to auction it off because Scoot gets pretty good, he's got a lot of traction these days. He's no like superstar, but he's slowly getting
10,000 likes on sketches, guys.
If you just drawn Space Venom, we could have sold it for $4,000 and kept that store afloat. But we always want to do this, and it's something just, man, we wanted to finish it and help them out. And just because they're open again doesn't mean we shouldn't finish it. So we finally, I've been pressuring Scoot to finish it for a while,
and we kept saying we wanted it to do it on stream because it's good content. I mean, and I love drawing Spider-Man. What's funny is I love drawing Spider-Man, but I always feel like I have this. Me and Spider-Man fight. Like, we fight when I draw Spider-Man.
Fight like gentlemen.
Because Spider-Man's one of those characters that everybody has drawn and everybody has done their own take on him. So trying to find a unique way to draw Spider-Man and try to stand out is really, really tough. So every time I draw him, I always feel like, nope, that's been done before. Nope, that's been done before. And I have to get myself out of that mentality that I'm going to do something that hasn't been done before. I just need to focus on drawing something that's amazing. And I think that's why I've procrastinated on this one. Like when I draw Carnage, I feel like I can just draw Carnage like me and him are bros, which is a bad thing to say. But I feel like me and Carnage get each other. Not in real life, but comic art wise. But Spidey's a character that everybody loves. I mean, how many of you out there, when you talk about your favorite comic characters, you just omit Spider-Man because it's understood that he's the best?
Yeah,
that's us.
And to that, we're I guess you're gonna post this on Twitter and Instagram, and we're gonna, I don't know, are we gonna have a silent auction where people just bid and we kind of keep the high one secret, or do we need to post?
I think what we're gonna do, no, I mean, I'll gladly post the
story
progress.
And be like, it's up to this much today,
But we're gonna post it. Once it's done, I'm gonna post it, and we're gonna just hold an auction for it. And it'll be on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
I'm pretty sure the Cellar's going to put it on their Facebook.
Yep. So
I think that's the only thing they have. I've been trying to get them to let me run an Instagram.
Nice.
And they won't.
But yeah, we're gonna post it up, and hopefully people want to bid on it. But literally everything whatever it sells for, all of that's going to our comic shop, the Cellar. I mean, it's. Don't get me wrong, I could use that money, but they've done so much for us in the past you know, it's feels awesome to be able to give back just doing something that I like to do, you know.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how we're gonna go about it because I don't know if I can just. I am going to make a comically large check and hand it to them, however much we do.
Oh
But
yeah.
at the same time, I don't know if I can just be like, "Hey, here's this cash, take it." And so I said that I told them if we have to do something to avoid like any weird like them getting any kind of like tax trouble or anything, I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna pull a comic off the shelf and be like, this is this $800 issue, right?" or whatever it goes for,
Yeah.
and buy it, and then I'm gonna make them sign it. We'll just frame it as like the charity.
And
charity piece.
I don't like to tag big artists in any of my posts because I always feel like that's just kind of using them to get notoriety. But I am gonna tag comic artists in this because it just seems like something they could get behind. You know, I'm not sharing it for my own sake. I'm sharing it to get as much money raised as we can for our comic shop.
And I
Said Batman, Clayface, and Joker. Yeah, man, everybody's got them.
and
Cool.
I'm going to match whatever is bid. So up to
Up
I don't know
to
if I should tell the limit I'm going to match to,
yeah.
but whenever people bid, remember like if you bid $50, no, you're actually giving 100 to our local comic shop. And whatever it is, like I said, up to this reserve, because if somebody goes stupid, like, oh, I'm gonna pay $1,200 for this piece, I'm not matching.
I'm
that.
like, oh, sorry guys, it's no longer for our comic
Yeah,
shop.
I'll trick you. Oh my god.
Oh god.
You would get T-boned by a bus for fucking karma like that. Bear can make the comically large check. Yeah, and make it out from Brute Studios Comics. But I'll match it up to a point because, like I said, that guy's done so much for me, and even now, like, I email him all the time, like, hey, can you order this for me? Hey, can you order this for me? And yeah, he gets money for it, but I'm sure, I mean, it's a shop, he's getting money from me from buying stuff, but I badger him all the time about stuff. So I'm happy to match it, and we'll hopefully. I want it to go for more than Scoot's normal wins because it's charity. You know, like I want people to go crazy and
Yeah.
dip in and you know.
And that's what I hope happens. You know?
And we're planning on, of course. I wonder if so we'll probably have to find somebody to ink it. I don't know who, but
I don't know if there's anybody in the
maybe I think Corey retired after doing your minimalist piece.
yeah. I don't think anybody likes to ink my work. So.
He said it was too complicated. But no, well, Corey will probably ink it. We'll get somebody to color it, and we're gonna make prints out of it eventually. But I want to make a poster for the shop to put up on their wall and have the piece, you know, present it to them all together. So it's a whole thing we want to do, and it's, you know, hopefully we'll have it up. We'll probably do the auction for what we said, like a week or two at least, where
Yeah.
people have time to bid on it and get us the money and all that mess. I would love for somebody to just be like, all right, I'll just give you $1,000. Just close the auction now. I'll be like, close.
I'm like, nope, bids at 1,000.
Like that horse auction in Kentucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the whole genesis of this piece, and Scoot gets to draw 3 characters he's very familiar with, likes a lot,
Yes.
and
it's not a headshot.
yeah, it's not
As much as I enjoy doing the headshots, I have felt like I've been out of practice with full body just because I haven't been doing them.
I like when you posted up the B-Movie Saga pinup, and somebody was, "Hey, oh, full body" or something. You're like, "Yeah, man, I
don't just draw the headshots. I draw the headshots because I need the money. So
mean, just get like 40 of those a month and pay the bills. 40 Venoms a month."
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, so I don't even know how. I guess you just decided to do Spidey and Venom and Carnage.
Oh, this one, yeah, I don't even know what prompted me, other than the fact that I thought it would be 3 easily. Actually, no, I was like, I'm trying to think of characters that people would want to buy.
That's
And-
true, and Spidey's always a hit, and Venom will up the price, and then the few Carnage fans will come in. If you drew Sleeper on it,
Yeah.
Daniel
Daniel Erm.
would have bought it. Had to ship it way overseas.
So yeah,
Yeah,
and
and we'll do
I'm
that
hoping
whenever-
something fun happens with it.
Whoever buys it shipping is included in your bid. We'll figure it out because I don't want you to think you're gonna have to. If somebody in like the UK buys it and then they're like, all right, well you paid X amount, now you got to pay $30 more. Like, now I'll just eat it, eat the cost on it. And if you can't bid, like I said, there'll still be prints.
Yeah, and if you can't bid, share it out.
Yeah, share. Yeah, I think that's something we do good with our little comic community.
Yeah.
We could do like invites where we could get other people in. We'd had to have Aaron on here talking about his time at Thought Bubble today.
Oh
So
no, I figured he might not be in here because
Probably in a coma.
yeah.
Probably just. I mean, normally he's here at a ridiculous time. So
I'm not gonna go into it until I get all the deets, but apparently Iban Coelho knows who I am, which is amazing.
And even if he's lying, man, that's a good lie, and let's just go with
I'm
it.
fine with it. Yeah. Makes me want to draw harder.
Yeah, God, no kidding. I gotta catch up on Scott Snyder's course because I think this week is his November one. Of course, he usually does it third Wednesday, but I don't think he wants to do it that close to Thanksgiving. Maybe if I was thinking, well, that's something else to talk about. Is anybody in here who is, well, of course, people are buying the Aspen cover, the Fathom cover, but also we were thinking about next Saturday. Was that it? We were going to stream next Saturday again as well.
Yep.
And the plan was that Scoot's going to do the remarks because he's got several remarks to do for the Aspen covers before he can send them out. And so we're going to do those live on stream because it'll be a fun challenge. It'll put the pressure on Scoot because it's different from his normal style, and it's going to be weird. It's going to be a weird art style that it'll be fun to watch him do. So
Yeah.
I bet said that piece will fetch 1K easy if the original pencils get inked. I guess we could throw that in and be like, hey, original pencils, inks if you want them. Some people love that. Some people, me, I'm partial to pencils just because I love them so much. But like the latest commission I got was of Elsa Bloodstone. I should have brought that. I should always bring new artwork.
Yeah, cool, fun. Show and tell.
Because I don't remember the gentleman's name right now, but he draws and it's super cool. And he was just like, hey, all I do is pencils and inks. Is that cool? I'm like, yeah. I don't need color. Not right now.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. God.
Good old Mike Scott.
Bear said inspired by those Spider-Man Venom hologram card.
Oh,
the only hologram card we ever saw, which I found my Spider-Man Fleeter Ultras a couple days ago.
Got mine right over there.
Yeah. Team Carnage.
Yeah,
I remember that because growing up, now that I've my tastes have matured and I'm a well-established, well-thought comic nerd. Otto Octavius is my favorite Spider-Man villain, and next to, and if we're just talking about Rogues Gallery, because I don't like calling him a villain, the Lizard's up there. But the Lizard's not he's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, so he's not really a villain. Kurt Connors is not a villain. So those two are my favorite, but growing up, my favorite were Doppelganger and Shocker. Yeah. And when they did the mashups and it was Doppelshock, I mean, like, what, did they take my fan suggestion or something? Yeah. Like, it was so awesome. I don't know if I have any of those hologram cards. Didn't they have the hologram and then they had the signed cards you had to get to?
They had every card was signed, but then they had the clear cut and then they had the hologram card.
Ugh.
I've only got a few of each.
Because I remember you bought an entire box off eBay and found that, wasn't it the Spider-Man
Venom? That was
hologram?
The puzzle cards, and no, I bought the whole box and didn't get the Spider-Man Venom hologram.
Oh yeah. The piece we were talking about today that we were possibly going to send to someone, I figured you and nobody would ink that because he might ink it himself.
Yeah, true.
Looking up reference for Spidey.
I just want to make sure I get the
blue,
the spider right. No, I know the costume. Look at this crazy adult. Okay, what is that? Look at this costume. It's a man's costume. But it's got a good spider on there, so.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I want a superior Spider Zentai suit, but not quite there yet. I like it because when I was talking about getting a Zentai suit, our sister Annie was like, she's a huge cosplay. If you guys don't know, our sister's Annie. I don't know how to pronounce or spell her name, so we'll throw it in the chat here in a second. Her cosplay name.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think that may be her biggest hurdle to internet stardom. But she makes and does all her own costumes. She did her bomber jacket, or her bombshell Captain Marvel today, which looked awesome. But she makes and does all her own costumes and all this stuff and knows all of it. She's part of the board for Cosplay Memphis, which is a charity group who dresses up in costumes and goes and does stuff for like St. Jude for the kids, which is super cool because those kids have every reason in the world to just be downers because I mean there's so many of them have these horrible illnesses that may kill them tomorrow and they're just as cool as can be. They're just like, Bucky, what's going on? And they're like, they just want to come over and punch my metal hand and like they like, oh, Captain Marvel, and like they're so cool. But Annie does a lot with costumes. So when I was like, yeah, I want to get a superior Spider-Man suit so I can wear it, she was like, oh, well, all the guys who wear it, because of course, the only thing, like, you should wear a Spider-Man suit if you want to. Who cares if you don't have you know, Andrew Garfield abs or something to be in the suit. Be who you want to be. Don't cosplay based on size. Cosplay based on your love for the character. But the one thing nobody wants to see is a damn camel tail in a Spider-Man suit. Nobody found that. Your partner does not find that. You can't walk in underwearless, but go in commando in a Spider-Man suit, and nobody's gonna get the Cyclops bite the lower lip and just want it. No one wants to see that. So you wear underwear with sculpted pouches, which is what it's called when you have like a cod piece, basically. And so Annie's like, oh yeah. Well, all the guys are, you know, you should get a dancer's belt. It's what everybody says to wear. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I'm looking into these suits, and I'm like, oh, I guess I better get this dancer's belt because I want to make sure it looks flush and all that. That is a G-string with a sculpted holder for Crash and the boys.
Holder.
And and I was like, it's not like underwear, like bikini under. It is G-string, like.
Oh yeah.
Full in there. And I was like, Annie, and I sent her a picture. I was like, you trying to trick me into wearing a G-string? And she's like, I didn't know what it was. I just know people say. I was like, nah, no, they've got other options out there somewhere. There's something else for me.
Brad's out there on Dancer's Belt message board.
Oh my god. And I was just like, yeah, no, I don't know if like just waiting. Like I'm gonna be the one who's going there. I get pantsed in a Zentai suit somehow.
Old Twiggenberries out.
And it's just yeah. No, the Twiggenberries would be secure. It's just I mean, you might as well wear, what were those things called? The half sling or whatever.
the C string.
The C string. Oh my god. Oh, but James Garfield, the only president to serve two non-consecutive terms. The only U.S. president, of course. Technically, Putin has served non-consecutive terms, but that's a whole different story. Yeah, so gonna wear a Zentai suit. Get ready for a G-string.
So, are you not gonna be Superior Spider-Man anymore?
Oh, I will, but I will find a better.
He's gonna get schlong implants.
Oh my god. But yeah, I definitely want one. It'd also be easy, unlike me having to do any like armor builds or anything. I can just like put it on, and I just want to do it and then be like a dickhead to kids. They're like, Spider-Man, I'm like, get away from me, you dolt. Like run off. Andre the Giant underwear. Spider-Man.
Basically. No,
Hayashi, it would not be Spider-Man XXL. Hold me closer, tiny dancer's belt. Oh god, Matt Nick walked into the middle of it. Matt Nick 69 now.
Hell yeah.
But no, it's yeah, definitely not. I have a full black Zentai suit that I bought just to try it on, which first of all, you may think you're flexible until you have to zip one of those things up on your own, and then you're like contorting trying to get it. and it's just a whole mess because I was gonna go running. Like we had a my run group had a Halloween run, and I was gonna show up in just that Zentai suit, my balaclava. So like I was full blacked out with my Halloween boxers on, but then it was raining and abnormally warm. So running in a full suit seemed like a horrible idea for a Starnes person. Like you're
Oh,
making some progress.
Yeah, we're getting there.
German Spider-Man cosplay. What, is that the one where he had a gun?
That's the best Spider-Man.
Or was that Batman? I know there was a weird Batman one too. Batman and Robin were shooting people. As long as it's not like the X-Men anime or manga, that was super weird. Like Cyclops had one eye because Wolverine cut it out, but Wolverine and Cyclops were actually brothers who were both still in love with Jean Grey. It was
much. Too much.
oh Japanese. That's Leopardon or whatever. I like I don't know. I like. Then again, I like any kind of Spider-Man. Like if I get to write the third Spider-Verse story, like Spider-Verse, Spider-Geddon, and I don't know what the third one would be, Spider-Apocalypse. I said Zack Snyder Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man's gonna look at Venom and be like, or look at Carnage and be like, believe me, I will fucking kill you. And you're like, Spidey, did you drop an F-bomb?
Did Batman say that?
Batman dropped an F-bomb and said he was going to kill the Joker. It was really, like, honestly, that scene at the end wasn't too bad. The nightmare post-credit scene, it wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed it. I kind of liked Jared Leto's Joker speech he gave. Like, it was fun. But then that Batman where he was like, he said he was going to kill him, and then he said he was going to fucking kill him. I was like, come on, Batman. Like
it's Batman's fault.
I kind of liked him being like the little jaded. Yeah, it's not Ben Affleck or Zack Snyder. Batman did this to us. I liked Ben Affleck as kind of like the war worn, pessimistic Batman. Even though he was, instead of that, he was just xenophobic in Batman vs Superman. That line was just too much for me. Oh, here comes Philip. He said, oh, hey, look, Scooter's drawing Spider-Man. I've never seen him draw this character before. He makes jokes almost as
look,
poorly
there's
as he
Philip.
plays Smash.
Never seen him beat me in Smash before.
That man is brave coming in here with Smash being in his name.
That man used to get so excited when he'd beat me in Smash, he'd take a picture.
Oh my god. And he did it on a disposable camera and never was able to develop it.
Otherwise known as his cell phone from a few years ago.
Oh my god, the one that looked like it was under an
It had
aquarium.
leprosy.
I'm waiting to unveil Pressure Zone by Tonetta on my co-workers.
Ooh.
When they're gonna step out of line one day and we're gonna get them.
Let me just say that I don't condone you guys going to search it, but if you do, your life will be better for it.
Corey sent a gif of a fight the other day. And I showed that to the people at work and they were out of control. Like they tried to play gay chicken with me a couple of times and I told them I was gonna do stuff to get them banned in Mississippi and they weren't ready. They said still have them all. Like, I like to imagine Philip has a photo album he cracks open where he took all of those pictures and went to like Walgreens and printed them out. And he's like, remember that? That was the day I beat Scoot when he was playing with Yoshi. It was a good day.
It was a good one.
I don't know, man. I haven't played Melee in probably close to 2 years. You might take a stock off me.
Oh, yeah, okay, there you go.
Philip, challenge your roommate to a rematch? Because last I heard, you guys were still 1-1 in the fighting. I think he might have won a little more convincingly with his arm break. Yeah, Bear, remind me to tell you about, so I had to take a first responder, not a first responder, a first aid emergency responder course for work because they said I was the coolest under pressure. So I had to go and learn how to give like the Heimlich maneuver, how to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, how to use the defibrillator, all that kind of stuff. Super fun, actually. But I'll have to tell you what I told them when I got back there. I'm not saying it on stream. It was pretty wild even for me. Philip said dude's scared to fight him. Oh my god. No, Bear, they're so scared of phishing emails at work. We have to do like 6 training things a year. But I always say I'm hillbilly IT. If Justin's still in the chat, somebody was arguing with him. They were saying, I don't know if I'm supposed to use Google or Chrome. And he's like, they're the same thing. They're like, no, they're not. Argued with him for a steady amount of time. Oh, Hallowfield in the chat.
What's up, Hallowfield?
Yeah, those be. I'm the villain that place deserves, and they just have to live with me.
Look at me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come over, Bear. I don't think I've been to your house in like 3 months. I went over once when Mom was house sitting, and that's it. Now Scoot had to be a jerk and break his dryer. Can't do laundry here anymore.
The piece came in the mail today.
Oh, I'm just being dumb.
I fixed it, and then it broke again.
Philip said we were shooting each other with airsoft guns in the living room the other night.
God.
I can say I was the fastest quick draw in the room. Well, there's so much to work with there, but you guys sound like hooligans.
Sound like college kids.
Yeah, they're just slamming shots of fireball and doing stupid shit. Stop. Your dog is awful. Why is she licking your couch?
I don't know. He's become a couch licker, and I don't know what that means.
I don't know. My cat sleeps in our litter box, so I don't know what. I can't judge. I'm not passing judgment. I feel like there were other things I was supposed to bring up here.
Not necessarily.
What else do we have coming up? We've got a new colorist on deck.
Possibly.
Possibly, yeah. He hasn't 100% taken the job, but we're screening some folks.
Brad and I had a really lengthy meeting yesterday talking about a bunch of awesome stuff, which actually brings me to a point. We were talking about conventions we want to do next year.
Yeah.
Because we need to get back to some conventions, and everything seems like it's going to be opening back up, and you know, we're vaccinated dudes, and so there's like about 4 of them that we're looking into currently. Yeah. But maybe we'll throw this in the chat. If any of you go to cons, like what are some fun ones that you think we should go to?
And Matt and Hayashi, we are definitely wanting one of them to be in Canada, just because we.
Yeah.
One, I want to go to Canada when it's not a layover from a flight. I want to actually see the damn country, and because it seems cool. Seems like a bunch of cool stuff, and then we could do it where we get up there, do the convention, and we like take a week to travel around and see cool stuff, you know? It'll be a fun big trip to do for the year, and then get like go up, you know, start on a high with the convention and then just have fun. Don't know which ones you guys prefer. I think we were looking at like Fan Expo in Toronto.
Yeah,
is that where it's in?
Yeah.
Toronto. So we were looking at that. I don't know what you guys think of it. Phil said the soybean festival.
Get the fuck out of here. Go to work.
I'm about to ban him.
Put him in chat timeout.
Put user in timeout. But we're looking at a couple of them. I think we will. We're gonna have to definitely run them all. Like when we start solidifying them, run them by Corey because we would love to have him there at the booth with us. Because we're gonna see how quick we can get kicked out of a place. And especially
We have
if
a bet going.
there's a very tentative one in Orlando, which means we could even have the great John Iker come and see us.
Yep. MegaCon in Orlando.
I could get him to sign my damn Aspen cover. What? Matt said, well, I live in the murder capital, so let's go closer. So where do you live exactly, Matt? I know we've got your address, but what city do you live in? I thought that Canadians were nice. And also, we're from Memphis, so I probably accidentally kill more people than any real murderer in your city.
It'll be like home.
Artsy said, anywhere in Virginia.
Virginia. That'd be cool to go to.
I can meet you guys. I've never been to Virginia, so yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. Any in particular? Are there any? Because this will be the first time we're actually looking into other conventions, so I only know really the big name ones out there. So
yeah, and even if you guys know one, ones that are geared more towards creators instead of just like big celebrities and stuff.
Yeah, we're not looking to just go to only big ones. Yeah, we want to. I like small ones too.
We're not peg like Winnie the Pooh. Oh man, now I'm sad. Philip said they probably have 4 deaths a year. Just Matt, don't let Philip give you a hard time. He's from Martin, Tennessee.
You've never heard
they
of
talk about it when cows break out of a pen. I actually said he lives in the racist capital. Come on, guys.
My view of Canada, apparently I don't really have one because
I was just hoping to see some very nice people who apologize to me. Somebody say a boot, and then a boot, and then my favorite thing. So our cousin, his wife is Canadian, but I don't know, she didn't spend a ton of time down there, so she just sounds American.
Yeah.
But when we talk about her, we talk about like when we say like use like say a quote from her or something, or tell a story about her. We use the worst stereotypical Canadian accent that she 100% does not have, and it's always funny. It's like we have a thing we call persistent jokes that aren't funny that we continuously say like they're funny, like David Bowie. And we have a just north of Memphis, there's a place called Ripley, and every time we're driving through it, I call somebody and I was like, hey, I'm just letting you know I was passing through Ripley, believe it or not.
And it's always funny.
And then laugh. You have to laugh. You have to hang up, or you hang up immediately, but you got to hang on just long enough so they can hear you laughing at your own joke.
Yeah, it's never not funny.
HeroCon in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, I've heard of Heroes Con, yeah. Hold on, let me write that down. He said Heroes Con.
I actually want to come up there and spread some positivity, some community. Tell them not to be racist.
Any idea when Heroes Con is? And if there's been confirmation that they are going to have it next year?
What'd you say? I'm sorry, I was blanking out. I was reading stuff.
I was just saying it. I wonder if they've heard if Heroes Con is happening, and if so, when is it?
Yeah, it seems like 2022 people are gearing back up to go full tilt.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there'll still like probably be mask mandates and things like that, but it'll all. I think the foot traffic's going to be good again. It's like, I mean, Chris Claremont posted some early this year, and of course he's going to have people.
Yeah.
But I mean, are you going to risk COVID to come buy a Scoot Stars original? Like, I mean, that's the thing is like, me, I love Ars Alley, so yeah, I would. But it's always one of those things like, will we have people come to us? And when, you know, at a normal convention, like a 2019 convention anywhere in the country, I think we do all right at.
Yeah.
But post, it's kind of it's a little weird. Awesome Con in DC. Ooh, that would be fun. God, I've wanted to go to DC.
Yeah, so the ones that we're kind of looking at, that we've looked at so far. Richmond Raceway.
I'm just taking a picture of the chat, so you
Oh
don't have to
yeah,
write them all down.
I definitely won't be able to go to anything this year, but the few that we've kind of looked at so far, is we already mentioned Fan Expo in Canada, MegaCon in Orlando, then Planet Comic Con in Kansas City, Missouri. Wanted to go to that one, and then what was the fourth one?
Corn Festival in Tripoli, Iowa, I think.
Tripoli, Iowa.
The overall convention.
There's a fourth one we were looking at.
Did you say Toronto already?
Yeah.
I don't know. You seemed like you had a good plan, so I didn't think I didn't have to store it in the punch bowl.
I've got them saved on my computer, so.
Why are you pulling stuff out of my backpack? But yeah, that's a big thing. We wanna travel, and honestly, like, we like the idea of coming to close to where you guys are, because shoot, even if we don't get it, like, if we don't get a huge traffic, it'd be cool just to meet some of you guys. Definitely, maybe we should try to find somewhere in the middle between Matt's violence and Hayashi's racist cities.
Yeah.
And we can find somewhere where it's nice and happy, and you guys can take us out and let us be Canadian.
Do you have somewhere that's not so racist and not so violent?
Yeah, because I mean, if it's just a little bit, Memphis is pretty racist and violent, so we're fine.
Yeah.
Like, we've got a little street cat cred. He said if you guys go to Toronto, we'll meet you there. Man, that'd be cool.
That'd be super cool, yeah. I mean, it's legit. We really want to try. I've never gotten to leave the country, so I would love to, even if it's, our northern neighbors.
John, we'll let you know whatever conventions we go to, because just because Scoot and I are going there to work, to have a booth doesn't mean we wouldn't love to car trip. Like, I haven't taken a road trip with John in so long. Like,
it's been too long.
I know he's been working on Mando armor, and he's part of the 501st, so he could go there representing them and stuff. Like, yeah, it'd be badass. so not the South. Bear said nowhere racist and violent, so not the South. Oh yeah, we have a history. There was a whole war. You might have heard about it. It's not our favorite thing. But what can you do? It's so of course we'll do most of them here in continental America. It'd be cool to do one in Hawaii, but just to go to Hawaii. Definitely want to do one in Canada, and it would be super cool to do one somewhere in the UK, because then we could go over there and meet the guys and hang out with them and stuff. But it would that's definitely a TBD.
Yeah.
Maybe a 2023 year.
Yeah. Because obviously, if we do well, we go to conventions, one, because it's fun, and two, if we do well, we can go to more.
Yeah, and so and it's good working, like, being on the other side of the booth, because I'm less likely to spend tons of money on original art. Still spend a little, but not quite as much. Yeah, John, especially anytime we will keep you in the loop on that, because
yeah, man, that'd be cool.
Road trips are, I mean, like, half the times going places, the road trip's the most fun part, especially when you don't have to drive all the way by yourself and you can switch up and take naps and shit. So I done a lot of solo traveling, and it has not been awesome. The drives anyway. Canadian Coke is a hell of a drug. We snort snow with our polar bear. Can you catch an STD from a polar bear?
Nice.
We will not be having any. Oh, he means literal Coke. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not drinking any soda. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, Scoot and I will be the considerate, like, visitors. Like, when I go places abroad, if people offer me any kind of food, like when I lived in France and then when I went to Japan, if people offer me stuff, I will take any of it, as long as it's not a carbonated drink. I can't break that trend. I was so scared when I went and visited Rachel and her in-laws in Ibaraki when I was in Tokyo, and I sat down, and first of all, they brought me this pear, and Ibaraki is known for their pears. and that was the most delicious pear I have ever had. Like, it was so crisp, and it was cool, and it was juicy. Dude, that pear, I still dream about it. And then they sat down and drink. Like, she gave me some water because it was summertime. And it was like 4,000 degrees with like 6,000% humidity. And drinking the cool water, she brought me a drink. And I was like, Rachel, is that a Coke? I can't have a soda. You know, I don't drink soda. She's like, no, it's not. It's just a like, it was just a canned like flavored water. Corey said I walk a thin line, but I'll snort a fat rail of snow.
God.
So you guys, I will be your DD if you guys ever do that. I will make sure you guys don't die, and if you do, we'll get you to the hospital.
Yep.
Not into any kind of designer drugs.
Nope. Or indie drugs. I'm not into any of the drugs.
Yeah, just a little ibuprofen here and there when I got a headache. No, none of that. My brain's a basket of cats anyway. I mean, I don't need it to have any kind of help being crazy.
That scared the shit out of me.
Didn't I start revving up to being a hoe? Stop it. Your dog's a catastrophe.
I know.
Actually, Rustbud's being a good bud right now. Yeah, so hopefully 2022 will be the year we see all your beautiful faces. And we like to talk about it on stream because then you guys can bug us about it. And like, hey, I thought you guys were doing conventions, and be like, shit. So
I've had a lot of people reach out to me asking if I'm going to this convention or that convention. A lot of people have in the past asked me if I'm going to New York Comic Con. I was like, man, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
But yeah, so we can all meet and put some. Well, you guys know what we look like, but
yeah,
we'll all get to see what you guys look like. Hallowfield, if I meet you and you're not walking a dachshund, don't come see me. I want to see the dachshund.
we're only going to conventions where pets are allowed.
Like dude in the Mandalorian, like, I want to see the baby. Show me that dachshund. Yeah, that's it.
But we spent a lot of time talking about that last night.
Yeah.
What else did we talk about last night?
And we talked about it before. Scoot and I, last night we were going to start thumbnailing and doing the very first step, or I guess the second step, because writing the script's the first step of B Movie Saga 1, which is full 22 pages, the first of 3-issue arc, which is the first of mini arcs. But Scoot and I were going to start thumbnailing it last night, but we kind of had to get we had a bunch of stuff we had to talk about. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to throw on the PowerPoint and talk about metrics instead of doing the fun stuff. So that's what we did yesterday.
Except our metrics is still fun stuff.
Yeah, comic metrics are way more fun. But what we talked about it yesterday, but next Saturday, Scoot's off. So we're going to get into that. We're also going to have a packing party. So if you ordered Fathom covers, we're going to get them out sometime.
Yeah, the invoices, I'll start sending them out
this week.
But yeah, beginning of this week. Then we'll get everything packed Saturday, and then we'll start shipping probably Monday.
Yeah. And we'll have them. We'll start shipping out. If you got remarks, of course, we're going to do them on stream. So, but Saturdays, basically, we're planning it to just be I'm going to get over here as soon. I'm going to finish my run early in the morning and then spend all day over here. We're going to do a packing party. We're going to do, or I think we're going to do that. Well, we're going to do most of them. And then we're going to start thumbnailing, and we'll probably post up some of the thumbnails, some of the prelim stuff, just some behind the scenes things, just content really. But the point is to be like, this is day one. So count it and help us stay,
keep us honest.
When we're on stream, be like, hey, let's see some page previews, and we can do a small snippet or something, something to keep Scoot moving, keep him honest, and make sure we finish this. Because I would love if there was some active, cosmic god, something out there that would do it. I would love to finish 2 issues next year, but right now we're just going to focus on the first one and hopefully get it out and get the second one steamrolling, and we'll see.
Ready for people to see the 8-page story that I've work so hard on and get into the first 24-page story.
Yeah, John, no kidding. Yeah, you can definitely come.
Yeah.
That would be exceptional. And most places now, like, I mean, all you have to do is buy a pass, and then you can sit behind the table with us. Nobody cares. I'm gonna buy. I guess I'll buy a Sharks jersey because technically that's my team. But I feel like if you're wearing an American team's jersey, I should wear a Canadian team's jersey. And but also I feel like I might be stepping on some. They take it way more seriously than we do here, so I might accidentally offend somebody and get in a fight, get punched. Like wearing the wrong colors at a soccer game or something. We're not being sure about this. You're sure nailing it, Scoot. Still sure flowing.
When I zoom in, you'll see it's pretty rough because I'm still just roughly laying out the shadows because I'm still not 100% sure where I'm at yet, where I'm feeling about it. I think this.
Oh,
I like the idea that I'm going with. I'm just not sure if I need to. I will probably honestly.
Oh, sure. Now I'm looking like. You said we tried to spoil some pages yesterday. Oh man, they're super blurry. You can't see those. It's fine. Everybody's distracted by my baller comic shelf anyway.
Corey, I
did do better, guys. Come on.
Corey, I'm not happy with that post you posted, telling us to do better. Like, I was taken aback by that. We'll have to talk.
We need some kind of emoticon or emoji we throw in the chat every time Scoot says it's his rough sketch and it's better than everything else. Just something to show our disappointment, like a ugh.
Well, look, I'm telling you, look, if you look at Venom, you'll see how tight it is compared to Spidey's.
How tight his glutes are. Almost did a pinch and zoom in. Such a weird Edmonton jersey. I don't even know, man.
I'm wearing a Bret Hart outfit.
I feel like no one would have noticed there was pages on the ground had Corey not mentioned it. He brought the attention to it.
Yeah, he brought the attention to it.
Way to go, Corey. Do better, man.
And after I told you that your ink looked perfect on that Collins sketch.
That was a pretty clean ink job. And
yeah, I can't even joke about that.
Yeah, Scoot Dude did not spoil it.
Didn't.
I like when you go, do you know what that is? Like, yeah, it's a Michael Turner homage. And you're like, no, do you know who it is? Yeah, it's fucking Collins.
Yeah.
I know my own creations.
Did all of you guys see the sketch I posted up today of our character, Henrietta Collins?
We no joke, when we know like the B-Movie Saga pinup, we literally did not post the pencils so that Corey could ink it first because he's the official inker on it, and didn't want the screen cap crowd to catch it first. But then I think did he forget to ink it, or did we forget to upload it to the drive?
No, I've had it uploaded.
Oh, okay.
It didn't matter because I still had to edit it. So.
Yeah, then he inked it, and I like that he's like, yep. I just thought he was doing something else. Like, Corey had a legit excuse, but yeah. I'm still surprised he didn't bust you out for it. After the backwards foot, he has been on you.
That backwards foot, guys. How many of you, did anybody out there, because I posted it, did anybody catch the backwards foot before I pulled it down?
No. We had 2 people ink it before you took it down. There are 2 people.
I still have it saved.
There are backwards foot black cats out there. Like for a while, we're like, "Is that? Why does that have 3 arms?" And why did you like, "Shut up, guys"?
Shut up.
That's okay, Corey. You actually were. I think he finished it when you were finishing your project that you were getting paid on.
Yeah.
So the pinup was also, it wasn't dire or anything like that. It wasn't we needed it right away. So yeah, it was all right that it took a back burner for a little bit. Now that it's done, it looks sweet. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be cool color, and we've seen the flats on the colors for it, and it's and a little bit of rendering, and it's starting to look good. Like inking is a mystery to me. I mean, pencils are too. Like obviously, I'm not a visual artist like you guys, but inking's one of those things where I can't tell what makes it good, but I can tell when it's not good.
Yeah.
But then coloring, like color artists make up their own language. So like, yeah, I did a flippy flap and it whizzled right in. And you're like,
Yeah, I see the whizzle.
okay, yeah, cool. And then they'll start talking about like spectrums and all this. I don't know what is happening, but it looks good, so keep at it. And then John Godwin, he'd be like, yeah, I'm just starting, or I still love I thought your fathom cover needed a sunrise. God.
Yeah. I was hoping he'd put a background in it, but I didn't know it was going to be that
Soon,
good.
Scoot's just gonna have like the loose body sketches, like the head and the triangle for the torso or whatever, and then give that to Corey and expect him to fill in the rest. And they'll be like, "Oh, don't worry about the background, John will get that."
Corey's made me lazy.
It's gonna be as loose as that time I drew that stick body on Link. God, I've been funny my whole life.
I'll never forget that. And it's so dark, I couldn't erase it.
Drew with a Sharpie, basically.
Oh, I was pissed at the time.
Hindsight made that shit funny.
Yeah, dude.
Oh. A solid hour and a half you put in so far. Maybe a little less because we chatted for a while. Fingers crossed, wish me luck. Pray to whoever listens to you. I'm going to talk to my artist for another comic series tomorrow and hopefully get her very hyped to draw the series and maybe have 2 full issues, something out. 2022. 2 full, like 20 pages. I think they're both be 22 pages, but the series I'm having a lot of fun with, and really, it's the one I posted on Twitter with, and boy, did I pay for it. But hey, we'll keep pushing it. Hopefully,
I don't want to draw your book, but I can draw you furry versions of your
Here's
book.
this furry, and here's my not safe for work furry. I'm just like, dude, off topic. Street League, skateboarding World Finals tomorrow. You've been oh, that sounds fun. Have you been watching?
I haven't. I didn't know that was happening.
Dude, skateboarding is so different than when like
God.
Like
is.
it's one of those few things that we can get away with saying in our day skateboarding was different because like you could say that about music or something, but that's just something like skateboarding has evolved.
Yeah,
like,
the stuff they're doing now on a skateboard blows my mind. I would have never thought about doing that when we skated.
Yeah, I saw somebody doing stuff on a longboard yesterday that was like Rodney Mullen level crap, and I'm just like, what is happening? And I see like every once in a while Instagram will be cool and throw me like some skateboarding videos, and it's just crazy. I'm gonna have to tune in. Where is somebody streaming that, John, to where we can watch it? Because I would tune in. Skateboarding is one of those things that almost like Smash, I'll never get back into it to where I want to be like competitive or get like do tricks or anything with skateboarding, but it is something I'll always watch. I thought I was trying to find somewhere that would do blank skateboarding decks, like that we could print something on.
Yeah.
Not really to sell, but just it'd be cool to have like a B-movie saga skateboard deck behind our.
That was one of the tiers on the Fathom Kickstarter.
Oh, really? Very cool. I know Pam Peacock, who I've got a commission from, and she does a lot of really cool art. Atlanta-based artist. She's on Instagram as the Voyager Peacock. If you want to follow her, she does like a lot of really cool like space theme paintings that I'm into. But she has a couple of custom. Her and a guy named, I think his name's Ryushu. They have custom skateboard decks with their art on it, and it's just so cool that I thought it'd be something fun for us to do. We always wanted to design our own skateboard decks anyway.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I can scan some of those and we can show off some pictures of our super rad skateboarding days next week before the.
Ooh, super rad.
Yeah, since we like to show off have picture time before we draw.
I didn't have anything new to show
Dude,
today.
Matt Seaborn sent us a picture the other day that might have to make it in a stream.
Oh my god.
Just maybe 2 buttons open on his shirt, and dude, the stream was going, the group chat was going crazy. Jeff Rowley is announcer. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, Jeff Rowley, I remember him.
SLS and YouTube, sweet.
Sweet.
I was thinking about that the other day about how underground like skateboarding was, especially when you got into like skate videos,
Yeah.
because they used the hell out of copyrighted music and no one cared. Like, I know there's music in there, like they use like Zeppelin, and Zeppelin is notorious for not licensing to anyone. Like that, like when the Immigrant Song was in Thor Ragnarok, that was a huge deal because they never licensed their music to anybody. And so like I remember, gosh, what was it, Skate Nation that had Burning of the Midnight Lamp in it, and by the Jimi Hendrix Experience, and the Riders on the Storm.
The Doors.
That's the Doors. Okay, there
That
you
was
go.
the video was called The Storm by
Yeah.
the Osiris Skate team.
Yeah, and so like they just used it because, like I said, it was just people making videos and then making a bunch of copies and sending them out. It's basically like a mixtape, and those were so much fun. I love skate videos.
Love watching skate. And we got deep into skating too
Yeah.
for a while there.
I was trying to find, because I wanted to find a skateboard just to like ride around on. I can ride around in Ollie, and that's all I really need. But I was trying to find the American Monster deck again and buy it, because that's a good one.
Old toy machine.
Oh yeah, they're still going strong. They had real tough boards.
Yeah.
They had a couple of them that were like super thin, and we were not nice to them.
I broke so many skateboards.
Oh, they licensed Immigrant Song to Jack Black's School of Rock, which prompted friendly banter between Black and Hemsworth. Interesting, I didn't know that. Granted, I've only seen School of Rock in pieces, so I'm a fan of Jack Black. Favorite movie by him is definitely High Fidelity. But he's pretty hilarious in almost anything he's in. High Fidelity, he's just he is so quick in that movie.
Yeah.
And then just an unapologetic asshole. Like, he's one of those people. He's the Hot Tub Time Machine is like, are you guys family or friends? Like, it's like he's our asshole, but he's our asshole. And he's just a jerk to everybody in that movie. They keep him around all the same. Like, how about fucking Beethoven? Simon track 1 of the 5th Symphony. He burns Rob so hard that scene. That's not pretty. How about the Beatles? Need a cover of Time Warp. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with Time Warp. That's a classic rock song. I did not have a classic rock phase, so like I like the song Black Dog, and that's about all I go into. Maybe I'll get back into it. I did just go through my punk rock phase in 2020, which really helped. And I'll get to classic rock by the time it's like antique rock or something. Because classic rock stations now play what we grew up with, which is alarming.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna have to come at another pass with the needed eraser with this one.
What do you mean?
Because the pencil's so sketchy.
Oh, so you'll lighten
I'll dumb it down
really
again.
Okay,
Yeah. And then sharpen it up. So
I remember first seeing you do that, and just like my heart dropped. And the then when I started practicing my art, I understood what you were doing. You can super lighten it to where it looks like you just erased everything, but you know where they are, and you can go back and tighten everything up.
For the longest time, I was really scared to lighten it down too light,
Yeah, sure, sure.
and to a point, I really still kind of am. But I think it'll be
I sometimes like when I draw, I go super sketch because I still have to draw the whole under sketch,
oh hell yeah, I
and
do too.
then like I'll start putting in lines, and then it's super sketchy. Like I'm intentionally just trying to, because to me, my hardest thing is to see the end product, the end game of what I'm drawing. So like I'll go in, and when it's still just circles, like I'm drawing Cap for I've been drawing it for a while for Aaron,
Yeah.
Captain America. Is like I went in and drew the ear wings on him and then put the A on his head just to kind of size it up in my brain, knowing that neither of them are going to survive the final product. But it's just I still draw super loose and super sketchy just to kind of get an idea in my brain.
I'll always draw that loose and sketchy. Like this part, I'm gonna draw since now you'll see most of Carnage's hand where you weren't going to in the beginning. So I'm gonna go ahead and just rough that in real quick.
A good cover though, like it looks like a old cover where you got like the heroes, or I guess in Venom's case, he's this era, he's clearly an anti-hero,
Yeah.
but he's swinging through, and then you got your villain looming in the background ominously, and they're all on like different planes. Good stuff though. Good design, good classic 90s design. We gotta design a hollow foil comic club, a foil cover comic club sticker or pin or something, so if people get the 3 comics with us, they can join us. Our super exclusive club with you, me, and Mark. Yeah, why does he need to? He usually has Saturdays off.
Who?
Mark Winchester.
Oh yeah.
We'll get him to tune in when we should just have the House of X Powers of 10 night, and he'll be like, those motherfuckers are supposed to invite me.
Okay, so what I'm probably gonna do, since the next step is for me to go in and tighten it up, I'm not gonna just start on that here.
Okay.
But I still got some time, so maybe since we're still talking about Spidey, I'll do a quick Spidey head sketch.
That being said, you knocked out a huge portion of this tonight. That looks great. Like you just, I wish my sketchiness looked that good.
So here's the way. I'm gonna pull it up closer, and you'll be able to see.
Everybody put the sketchy face in. He said it was sketchy. Give him the sad face. Oh look! Oh God, it's tough to look at. Ooh. Why is anybody watching this stream? God.
Look at how sketchy that is. It's okay. It's gonna be tight.
Everybody look away. Can you put Wonder Woman 14 up instead, so we can detox? Oh.
Yeah, I can actually. I have it. So.
Everybody throw the sad face in the chat. Oh, I'm sketchy. Somebody make a SpongeBob meme, the one where he's bending over with like the weird bird beak face. And he goes, "Oh, this is my sketchy." Just for Scoot. I'm telling you, we need memes to make Scoot really big.
I'll tell you, this right here wouldn't pass for they wouldn't hire me on this. So.
I don't know, man. I've seen some pencils that are questionable. Not that you ever want to be that person.
No, I never want to be that person in question. So I'll knock out a Spidey. We'll do a Spidey head sketch real quick, and I'm gonna get my Corey King on.
Oh, an ink?
Yeah.
Did the dog stroll tonight? Oh, don't worry, Matt. I keep your colored version of Wonder Woman 2014. Oh, you almost killed Abby.
She's fine. Come on, focus.
Focus. Put some spider sense on him too.
Okay. And maybe I need to have him kind of looking back.
In a message we should have sent last night. That we were talking about. Oh, not Boom Studios. That's why I can't find it. Oh, Holly got a sketch from Luke Sketch. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know his real name,
Luke,
so I'll just call him
Henley, I think might be it.
Luke.sketches on Instagram. Friend of the stream.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Well, I remember, where are you? All right. Sorry for texting on stream. But Scoot Spidey's head sketch looking pretty cool. Another one for the portfolio. What are you going to do if we go to a convention? Like, we go to our first convention in forever. And one of the things we used to have to do is, like, we only went to Memphis Comic Expo. And Scoot, the first time we went, we pulled original art from everywhere. We had to go through, we spent a whole, like, afternoon pulling out all of his sketchbooks, looking through stuff, putting them in a three different portfolios, pricing them out. Pulled stuff. We pulled a lot of stuff from mine because I used to have an entire portfolio of just Scoot's art. I had a second one for just his art too, and now it's quite diminished. But we sold quite a bit, and Scoot would spend the next year kind of filling it up, getting ready for Memphis Comic Expo. And this year, I mean, with 2020, Scoot has just been drawing sketches left and right. Had a few people who backed out on stuff, and so he just threw them in the portfolio to sell. And what if you go? So what if you go? He's got a good amount now. He's got a good backlog. But what if you go to your first convention and like you just blow out of all of them? You have to spend. And it's like
I'll spend an evening drawing Venom and Spider-Man.
You only have like 6 weeks to fill it back up before you go to a convention. I mean, that would be a stellar problem to have, because as much original art as you have now,
yeah,
somebody come up, oh, I'll take that desk shroud, boom, table money made back.
Yeah.
Mostly Venom this year. Well, those have all been sold. Those
are all commissioned.
Those are all requested.
I don't just draw Venom for fun anymore.
Yeah.
So when you said that yesterday, the spider sense, you don't talk about just the squiggles. You're talking about something else. Show me an example.
I'm trying to find
if you have one.
Because yeah, I see what you're talking about, but I've seen them sometimes where they draw like a connected line. Gosh, I can only find one example of it. Have you ever done a split Spidey, like old school, where you can see Pete's face?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that'd be a fun one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Maybe I imagined that shit, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was one of the clones who had a different kind of spider sense, because Kane Parker's spider sense for a while was prophetic. Like, he could see events in the future, like not like Pete sees danger and he doesn't know what it is, but Kane's was almost like a forward sight.
One of the rare times you're gonna see me inking and Brad being okay with it.
Just tough. Oh, maybe it was the Ultimate Spider-Man, because if you see like this one in this from Bagley, it yeah, so it's just different. It might be the Ultimate one, or maybe I'm just misremembering and putting my own spin on it. Who knows? But keep looking. But I like that Mayday Parker, or not Mayday Parker. Annie Mae from
Renew Your Vows.
Renew Your Vows had a similar spider sense to where she would get it and she'd get these huge waves and she'd see tons of stuff about to happen. Very interesting. I like people evolving powers like that. Makes them unique and different. Kane also has weird bone protrusions that he can come out and stab people with, and he can burn people with his hand, leave the mark of Kane on them. He has a few other weird powers. He could talk to spiders, or like for a little bit in Yost Run. I don't know if he kept that, because he was able to find like a bomb that was going to blow up Houston. I love it because there's it was actually the first issue of Yost Scarlet Spider that I that I first read. And it was there was some terrorist group who was planted a dirty bomb in Houston, and him and the police officer that he was partnered with were trying to find it and just couldn't. And finally he's like, oh, I can talk to spiders now. And he like does it, and the spiders are all over the city, and he finds the bomb, and they get to it, and there's only like 3 minutes left on it, and they can't figure it out. And the whole time it's just counting down. Iron Man's trying to fly to the city to save it. And I love it because they get to where it's just like 3, 2, and he wrenches it and just rips all the cables out, and it stops. And the dude's like, why would you do that? And he's like, well, it was gonna blow up anyway. What the fuck, you know? And it was just a great scene where he's just like, there was nothing to lose, and it's kind of Kane's mentality is Spidey would have never given up. Spidey would have found a way to move it or disarm it, and he was just like, let's go with the Alexander Gordian-Knot approach and just take it out.
Let's take them all out.
Yeah, I feel like Hellofield. I feel like Spider-Sense is something you can do fun with coloring. Go a little crazy with it. If you guys didn't hear, Ben Riley's getting another series in January written by, you know how to pronounce his name?
Who?
The guy who wrote Craven's Last Hunt. It's like DeMatteis.
Oh, DeMatteis.
DeMatteis. There you go. He's writing us a Ben Riley series. Because I'm assuming the Spider-Man Beyond stuff is not going to last forever. Well, it never really was. It's same as Superior was always Peter was going to get it back. Peter's not going to stay in a coma for long with the Spider-Man Beyond stuff. So Ben Riley's going to end up having to go somewhere else, which is fine. I'm enjoying it right now. I like what it's going to. Him being a hero again, and them not just unoriginally just killing off Peter. They're like, oh, Peter's dead. Like, oh, come on, man. I am waiting for Kane Parker to show up. Oof. I would love for him to show. He's still rocking the same suit he stole from Peter after the Spider Island events. But yeah, Hayashi's drawing one of his original characters with the ponytail.
Wait.
I like your original characters. One looks like Shao Kahn. I like that. Yeah, Corey says, I'm shocked Brad is allowing this to happen right now. It's hurting. It's part of my soul's dying. But I guess in the end, he is CFO, so he can, when it comes to creative stuff, he can trump me. I hope his hand's cramped in the morning from inking. Actually, I don't.
Yeah, I was about to say, come on, man, I need to draw tomorrow.
Yeah, what's on your docket to draw tomorrow?
I still need to do that commission from what was it, Peaky Blinders?
Oh yeah.
I need to do that one because I started it and I hated it. So I just
you've all started on Vision a couple of times too.
I did. Maybe I can sneak peek a piece of art I haven't posted yet.
Always good for the people hanging out in here. Yeah, they because you've got a backlog of head sketches to post, but luckily you've been able to break it up. I don't know if you would call that that Michael Turner homage a head sketch.
No, definitely not.
But it was nice. I mean, even those things are pulling their weight. I mean, they're probably responsible for you having so many followers now, but
absolutely.
Let's see. Oh, Matt Seaborn posted. I was hoping he posted another shirtless pic.
But other than that, Peaky Blinders, Peaky Blinders,
Peaky Blinders.
Other than that, I have a fun Mysterio one to do.
Mysterio's always a good one.
But I still have that Mickey Mouse piece I'm working on too.
You haven't posted your latest Mysterio, have you? Wait till you guys see that one. That one turned out real good.
Unfortunately, I can't show that one on stream because it's already shipped out. So, but I do have that one. I'll probably post that'll be sometime this week. Because I try not to post every single day. Try to keep it broken up.
We may end up doing a 5K giveaway before we get to the 4.
Sure. We'll talk about the 5K giveaway here at the end. Got a few more minutes.
You said the 4K giveaway? What?
Yeah.
Oh, you already know what you're gonna do. Oh yeah, we talked about that last night. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was multitasking and shouldn't have been.
So maybe we talk about it right now. So the 4K giveaway. So for me reaching 4,000 followers on Instagram, first of all, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. And we're already at, I think, over 4,200 already now.
4,288 right now.
That's crazy to me. So thanks to everybody. But the 4,000 follower giveaway is going to be probably an 11x17 full body. No background because I ain't getting that crazy.
No.
But probably gonna be an 11x17 full background. No background. But it will be only available. First of all, to enter, I'll do perfect or more explanation on Instagram on a post, but you'll have to post something on Instagram. But you can only win it if you are in the chat of the live stream. Thanks, Corey.
Yeah, and can you see, like, when people subscribe, does it give you a notification like
on
Brad
YouTube?
Starnes is now subscribed? Yeah.
It does if their account is public. If they're a private account, it doesn't tell me.
I was gonna say, like, hey, you have to be in the stream to be entered, but if you subscribe, you get another one. Because man, you gotta push for subscribers any way you can.
Yeah.
Because that would be a good way to get people. Because we're slowly crawling our way. I mean, it's kind of like when Scoot first started, and we're like, dang, Scoot hit 100 followers, and then when he hit 200, it was like this huge thing, and we're kind of going through that again with YouTube, where we just hit 161 followers. So
YouTube's hard.
Yeah, but I remember we've talked about it a couple times how Scoot had stagnated. Like, I don't know why. Like, he was stuck at 12, 15. You were there. We'd get a couple of followers, then you lose a few. It'd go below 12, 15, then go back up, and then you posted a couple of things, and then just steamrolling. I mean, you've gotten 3,000 followers since then, and I went back and looked, and that was August 15th that we talked about that, and it was. I mean, there's a lot of things that happened. You started posting some really cool stuff. Deadpool definitely has to be shouted out. We started streaming regularly, which I don't know. Maybe that's helping. You opened up commissions again because you finished B Movie Saga 2.
Yeah.
And so that probably helped. Just a myriad of things, but it's really impressive that in, such like a short period.
Yeah, it's happened really fast.
So super cool, and I like that now people are starting to more people are taking you up on inks, and people are kind of seeing you and Corey as a team, which is good, because unlike, of course, it's always in the comic industry, like, writers can write 7,000 books a month, artists can only draw one, but inkers can do more than one. And so if people come up like, can you ink this? Like, have you seen what I've inked of Scoots? Yes, I can ink that. Like, so he's got, a good little grouping of stuff that he can, promote, and then he's getting his own stuff on the side. So everybody's growing, everybody's Getting better. Hey, Misty's calling. I'm gonna answer it on stream.
Okay.
Hey. Okay, I'm on stream, so hopefully it's not embarrassing. I'm streaming with Scoot. Okay. Oof. That might be a better question for Bear since he does that. Have you tried calling him? I hate to put him on the spot, but because I when I switched over, I just uploaded all my stuff to a drive and then was done with it. Just kind of. Oh yikes. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I could look some stuff up and like I said, I'm on stream, so I can look some stuff up and try to help you, but right now I'm not sure.
Look how professional Brad is.
No, he's on the stream. I don't think so. He's in our chat right now talking to us. So okay. All right. Bye. Bear, Misty's about to call you about tech support. That is our other sister. Her name is Misty. Once again, I'm one of the few without any kind of fun nickname. Her name is Misty. Her real name's Stephanie. We just don't go by real names around here. But you don't see her a lot. I refer to her in the run group as Horse Sister because that's the easiest way for them to remember.
Horse Sister.
She shows horses. She's actually awesome. Like if you guys know anything about horse shows, she has quarter horse showing, of course, because very American thing to do. But she's gone to like the World Show and had like sold horses for crazy amounts of money, that more money than Scoot and I have. So we all have our talents we appeal to.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, that looks super cool. The arc you're putting on that, which is like, are you just freehanding that, or did you pencil in the Spidey?
Just freehand.
God. That Spidey is so clean. It's incredible.
Right.
Sign your name at the bottom of the sign Corey's and scratch it out.
I should put Corey's name in the bottom. So there's the quick Spidey sketch.
I still think the first time I ever talked to Corey is when I was listening to the last podcast on the left and they shouted him out and I was like,
all right. Bring this up here. Get ready to.
you did that in 10 minutes.
Did I really? Was it 10 minutes?
Well, it might have been 20. From beginning to end. I think you started.
I draw a lot of Spidey. I draw a lot of Spidey heads. Get that right. So, yeah. So with the auction piece, I think I've got it where I want it. I'll clean it up, make sure it's real crisp, and then I'll post it. And then hopefully we'll get some folks on there that want to bid on it, so we can benefit our local comic shop, who has always been there for us. So you guys will see it everywhere once I'm ready to post it up and do it. So, but other than that, this week should be a lot of things. Should be sending out invoices for the Fathom cover. So if you've got on the pre-order list for it, be on the lookout for that in your email or your PayPal info, and we'll get those shipping out in early next week, not this coming week, but early next week. And then I'll be streaming the Fathom remarks on the covers. I think I have 6 of them to do. So we'll do that next Saturday. And then I feel like there's something else that's happening this week that I can't remember. Fathom covers.
Thumbnailing, Fathom covers.
and then the 4,000 follower giveaway. Well, I won't do that probably. I don't know.
Do that after we sell the auction piece, so nobody's holding out hoping for a free piece.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys pay us.
Yeah, but I mean, it might not even be till the end of December or beginning of the year when I draw it. But we're gonna draw the name next week. So So in addition to doing the Fathom remarks, we'll be drawing the name. So be ready for a special guest appearance by Mrs. Scoot, because she always draws. So
we need to make it to where you have to come in and you have to throw an OYO in the chat to be in the, just
There
to
you
make
go.
everybody participate in the chat.
yeah, well, like I said, how I wouldn't know that they were here if they don't say something in the chat, and you have to be in the chat
Oh,
to
that's
win.
true, because
So
even page 1 makes you do that.
yep.
We did some giveaways with them.
So if we draw your name and you're not in the chat, we're not gonna know. So, all right. But other than that, I don't have anything else. I don't believe, unless you do.
Nope.
Okay.
Good to go.
I'm good to go as well. So, there you go, man. Good to know. Good to know. Also, we didn't really talk about it, but we talked a lot about Patreon, and that could be happening probably early next year.
Maybe launch it even in December, just
yeah.
to have it out there and get people going.
But we've come up with some pretty fun tiers, I think. It's pretty much made. I just got to hit the go live button. But we want to make sure that there's nothing else we want to add. And of course, things will be going on it, adding to it every so often. So, but other than that, that's all I got. Thanks for the 4,000 follows. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for 10,000 likes on Cosmic Venom. Still waiting to see Corey's inks on that one as well. But,
oh my god.
Yeah, it's gonna be rad.
That better get a comparable amount of likes.
Yep. But other than that, we will see you guys next time.